welcome to another episode of Savage Cash. Here with me, Suppoman, your superhero cryptocurrency expert. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the top 5 coins under $1. If you know me, if you have been watching my videos, if you've taken one of my courses, you will know 2 things. Number 1 is that I like altcoins. Number 2 is that I like altcoins that make your money go quite far. Okay, so I'm not talking about altcoins like Veritasium or Ethereum or Dash, the ones that are 3 figures already and the ones that you can't make massive gains on unless it absolutely soars in value, unless it absolutely tears up the charts. There's absolutely no chance of you making huge gains. I like to essentially invest in cryptocurrencies that have noughts in front of it. So if you're looking at the sats value on Poloniex or Bittrex, there's quite a few noughts in front of the numbers. Okay, I like my money to go a long way. Now, if you have been keeping an eye on the global market, you will see that we in cryptocurrency are now at the most healthiest state we have ever been in. I mean, I've been doing this podcast now for 3 months. I've been doing this podcast, and when I did it, we were at around about 66 billion total market cap. Now we are at 156 billion. Okay, so it's already gone up nearly 3 times since my first ever video on cryptocurrencies. Okay, so what we can see here, although we've got, a couple of market crashes, we had the one in May, we had the other one that happened in July, which was the biggie, we see that basically the trajectory is up. The trajectory is up, save for the occasional crash that happens every couple of months, and there's probably going to be one in September. This is now the healthiest state cryptocurrency has ever been in, and it's only going to go higher. Okay, back in this, in this kind of era, people were saying, what's Bitcoin? What's cryptocurrencies? What the hell is this? Why are people investing in this? Why are people losing money? Why are you taking risks? What is, how is cryptocurrency ever going to be applied in real life, etc., etc. Now we can see it's becoming a real thing. Now, in my cryptocurrency mastermind group, somebody actually posted a little infographic as to the size of the cryptocurrency bubble versus the .com bubble, and we are just a little piece of sand along a massive beach compared to the .com bubble. So this is only going to get bigger. People that think that the bubble's just going to burst are downright wrong. This is only going to get much bigger, and in another 3 months, I imagine it's probably going to triple again. More people are entering by the day. Now, if we have a look at the global market cap and we have a look at Bitcoin, you will see that essentially Bitcoin's trajectory is identical to the market. Okay, it's identical. Look, it's virtually the same. Okay, why? Because Bitcoin is the major cryptocurrency. It's the cryptocurrency virtually everybody's heard of. If you say, have you heard of cryptocurrencies? Do you know what cryptocurrencies are? No? What are they? Right? People will more than often say that. Probably less. The more that future progresses and the more cryptocurrency kind of gets spread out to the masses, more people will know about it. But if you say to the regular person right now, oh, I invest in cryptocurrencies, people will say, what's that? But if you say Bitcoin, people will know Bitcoin. They won't necessarily know what it does, what value it has, how much it's worth, but they will have probably heard of Bitcoin. And they probably will know the nature of it, that it's a digital currency, but they won't understand what's the point of it, what value does it add in real life, okay? So now we're on the rise, okay? Cryptocurrency is on the rise. And if you're here with me now, okay, admittedly, it probably would have been better if you'd been with me back in, kind of mid-May, but it doesn't really matter because for a lot of coins, some coins haven't really gone up hugely since then, so it's still a great time to get in. Now, I enjoy long-term investing. That is what I do, okay? So I'm not one of those people who, for the majority of my trading activity, will get involved with a cryptocurrency at this point or this point and just sell it at this point. I will do that if there's a cryptocurrency that's blowing up literally on market news, but as far as having substance is concerned, long-term substance, like Digibyte, for instance, that was a really good short-term investment, okay, at the time back in May, June. That was a really good short-term investment when, you know, the whole DigiSign and Citibank thing was going on and the Minecraft thing was going on. That was a really good time to do a short-term investment. But what I like to do is I like to invest for the long. So in this top 5 cryptocurrency video of coins under $1, I'm going to be talking about coins that are under $1 that are good long-term investments, not coins under $1 that you can just invest in and, you know, sell in a month's time or a week's time. This is for the long term, and I'm going to speak about them in the context of the long term. But what I really wanted to highlight is that as the market gets bigger and bigger, more are going to invest in the alternative cryptocurrencies and not Bitcoin. So although you see a good synchronicity between the rise of Bitcoin and the rise of cryptocurrency in general, the market, although you've seen that in the past, what you're probably going to see is that the price will go up no matter what happens with Bitcoin. And you can see there was a little dip here, didn't impact the global market at all. Didn't impact the market cap of globally at all. All right, across all cryptocurrency. So let's now go into the top 5 sale coins under $1. So in at number 5, we have got Sia coin. Now, Sia coin is something that I have been only ever speaking positively about. It's basically decentralized cloud storage. Okay, now as the cloud becomes more and more relevant, the more and more time goes on, then the more and more Sia coin will become valuable. Okay, now one of the things that, you know, separates rubbish cryptocurrencies from good cryptocurrencies is its real world usage. Okay, and Sia coin with cloud computing, or with cloud storage even, with cloud storage, the more that becomes relevant, and this is happening. You know, the other day I went to buy a laptop in Curry's PC World in the UK, and they were saying, oh yeah, this laptop has 32 gigabyte inbuilt storage, and then they've got, you know, 500 gigabytes in the cloud, and in the cloud, and in the cloud, and that's all I hear these days, in the cloud. Okay, and it's just going to be more and more things are going to be stored in the cloud as time progresses, as technology becomes more efficient, and, you know, these computer companies, the ones that actually manufacture computers, as they look for alternative solutions to sell really good computers at a low price, they're going to be looking to cloud storage as where they are going to be sending most of the files in the future when people save them on their computer. So cloud storage is certainly a good project to be invested in. Now, Sia coin is just over ½ a cent. Okay, so it's not even 1 cent, let alone $1. It's not even 1 cent yet. Now, recently, well, back in June, when things were really going up, Sia coin got to 2 cents. It got to 2.3 cents, actually. So it woke up a bit, and then since it's just gone dramatically down and down and down and down as the market crashed, and it never really picked back up again. But there, I dare say, will be a time very soon that it will pick back up again, where it will hit its absolute lowest and will only go up from there. A month ago, it was at 0.7 of a cent. Now it's at 0.6 of a cent. And I think that it's going to be, across the course of the year, it is going to be subjected to rises. Okay, so T stands for today, H stands for its highest, F stands for future value, and G stands for the gain that can be made if it achieves that future value. So I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do price predictions as well as the top coins under $1. So I believe that Sia coin over the course of the year is going to wake up, maybe go down a bit, wake up again, and it is going to go up to about 5 cents. Now you're probably saying to me, well, that's not a lot. But actually, it's 8 times gain if you think about it. Okay, so it's already gone up to 2 cents. It's already gone up to just under half of what I predict it will be this time next year. Okay, and this is given what's happening in cryptocurrency. There's a new cryptocurrency coming out all the time. It's making newer cryptocurrencies more exciting, and people are less interested, I suppose, in the more established coins. And Sia coin's been around for a while. However, Sia coin has got a community. Sia coin has got potential real-world usage. And as a result of that, I do see that once people realise that a lot of the ICOs, not all of them, but a lot of the ICOs are just copycats of other cryptocurrencies or have absolutely no value. It's just a bunch of people, a team, looking to just raise money so that they can run off with it and leave you with a crappy, you know, value coin. then, then Civic will start coming to the fore. So I anticipate that it will get up to about 5 cents, which is an 8 times gain. So if you put $1,000, this is an example, if you put $1,000 into Civic, it could go up to 8,000. If you put $100 into Civic, it could go up to 800. Ripple. Ripple is my number 4. Now you're probably saying to me, Suppoman, you're always talking badly about Ripple. Okay, so I don't speak badly about Ripple, but I do say it how it is. Okay, so Ripple has split the cryptocurrency community. Now, although I don't invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum, what they have got going for it is the majority of the community do like them. Okay, but with Ripple, it split the community. There were half, if not more, that didn't like Ripple because it essentially got adopted by banks, okay, international banks, meaning that it's gone into the centralized world away from the cryptocurrency purists who believe in a decentralized world. Most of the cryptocurrencies that are created are for decentralization of the system. Okay, to get out of the system, to get out of control from, authorities, from governments, from the powers that be. That's why cryptocurrencies are so beautiful. But that's why people don't like Ripple, because it essentially is part of the centralized system. However, if you take your head out of that space and have a look at the value that Ripple actually adds in the banking sector and as having real world use, you will see that it's got far more value than the community will let you believe. Now, in my Suppoman cryptocurrency mastermind group, people are forever slating Ripple, and they've got, I suppose, their reasons for it, and the reasons I've just gone through. However, if you take your mind away from the bias, if you take your mind away from subjective opinion and actually look at Ripple, basically Ripple is being used for transactions from bank to bank. Okay, so it's been invested in by Google and by Santander. It's being used by 15 out of 50 of the major banks globally. So as a result of that, it gives you the indication that Ripple actually has got a lot of value attached to it, which is not being realized right now. Now, it's had a very short-term pump. It went up well over 30 cents and it's gone right back down again. People have taken, it's one of the biggest losers in terms of volume. Lots of people have been taking their money out of Ripple and it's gone right back down to 22 cents. Now, admittedly, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was about 15 cents, 17 cents. So it's still higher than that. So it shouldn't say $42. So basically the highest that Ripple had achieved was a few months ago. It got up to 42 cents. Okay, so essentially it's half now what it was a few months ago. But I predict this will go up to at least $2 over the course of the year. Once people's biases come out and once actually Ripple starts waking up a bit, I mean, it woke up already, and this is what happened with ant shares. All of a sudden, when a cryptocurrency wakes up and everybody notices it, then they start looking at it and they start looking at the benefits of it. And so they will look at the benefits of it. They'll tell you the benefits. Well, if you look at Ripple, if you look at the website, if you look at what they aim to achieve, they will tell you what I've just told you. And this is that it's actually adding a lot of value within banking and is going to be doing so across the course of time. Okay, if you think about it, essentially Ripple is a protocol. You apply it on, as a bank, you apply it on top of your current, infrastructure. You apply it on top and it enables transactions. I think it's about 1,000 transactions a second. This enables banks to work way more efficiently. So I therefore think that Ripple modestly is going to go up to $2, could go up to way more. So that would give you a 9 times gain over the course of the year. 9 times gain. Okay, on a $100 investment, that's $900. If on a $1,000 investment, that's $9,000. On a $10,000 investment, that's $90,000. In at number 3, we've got Library. Now, Library I have already spoken about in previous videos, but essentially Library is a content creator's haven. Okay, so content creators over all walks of life. Books, videos, all kinds of content that you can produce digitally. Okay, you can now store, well, you're going to be able to store when Library has a finished product anyway. They've got a version out at the moment, but it's going to be worked on and become a better product. Okay, so a little bit like Steam. On Steam, you can put blogs, you can now put video. Okay, but Steam is no longer under $1. Okay, so Library is the next best thing. And the thing is with library is that you can actually charge for people to view your content or purchase your content. Now, on websites like Amazon, if you are selling a book on Amazon, Amazon take I think, quite big percentage of your sales. If you're selling apps on the App Store, Google and Apple will take a big percentage of your sales. Okay, with library, it gives control to you as a content creator, and that is what separates it from from the real world. The real world, the centralized world, the controlled world. This is library in the decentralized world. This is a social network, a content creators platform where they don't get all this control and all these people dictating how much you have to pay if you get a sale. No, they're out of that. Therefore, I think over the course of the year, library will go from 32 cents to $5. Okay, so the highest it's achieved is 92 cents. Where it is now is 32 cents. I'm surprised it's still at 32 cents. I mean, it's been in the 30s for some time now. And I think it's time for it to start getting out of there. It's time for it to start moving and time for it to start achieving the dollars. Because we're talking about a potential, social network of the future here. We're talking about a content creators platform where people can sell their products for the price that they want to and get paid fully for it, and you can get great content. It's all about implementation at the end of the day. That's what I say in most things. When people say, "Oh, Superman, do you think, your number one cryptocurrency opportunity of 2017, do you think that is going to achieve $40 by the end, by this time next year? Do you think it's going to achieve three figures, over the course of years?" Yes, but if the implementation is done properly. If it's not implemented properly, if the user interface is terrible, if the way it works is terrible, if there are really bad negative reviews about it, and then all of a sudden people just dump the hell out of it, people just leave it because it's got such a bad reputation, it can all go wrong. Most cryptocurrencies are just ideas. Okay, they have some real world usage, you can apply, they're operating on a blockchain, but they're not actually being used in the real world, so they've got no real value. But once they are actually being used by the outside world, that's when you know whether something's going to be a success or not. And with a lot of cryptocurrencies, that's not been, established yet. That's not been proven yet. So we don't know necessarily if library's going to be absolutely massive in the future. It's all about implementation. But I definitely think that library, over the course of the next year, is going to have a lot of the features from the finished platform done by then. Now, of course, like with any website, like with any social network, it's always going to be subjected to user interface improvements. It's always going to have functionality improvements. So over time, it's only going to get more and more valuable. Okay, it's only going to work better and better over time. But I definitely think that there is potential, real scope for it to go from 32 cents to $5, but it's all about implementation. But this will give you a 15 times gain. So I don't need to give you what that would be if you invested $100, $1,000, $10,000, but it's 15 times whatever you invest in it. At number 2, we have got Civic. Civic is one of the star cryptocurrencies of the future. Why? Because of the whole personal information, privacy, and security aspect that we are finding more and more relevant as time goes on. We've only found out literally in the last week and a half that, the systems that are out there to protect us are actually not good enough. Okay. A lot of people have antivirus software. A lot of people have, really good computers that are meant to detect any malware on it. But it doesn't stop hackers being able to get some sort of program or malware on your computer and recording your keystrokes, recording what you're typing, recording your passwords, so that they can then infiltrate them, hack them, rinse your money out. They can hack your Facebook, they can hack anything. They can hack your bank account. God knows what they can do. Okay? And we're also talking about airport security. We're talking about security in all walks of life, where people are saying, are you the right person? Are you who you say you are? Okay? So, let's say, for instance, in airports, all right? So, when you go to duty free at an airport, when you go to the till, you're buying your alcohol, or you're buying your cigarettes, or you're buying your perfume, whatever, sunglasses, whatever. You're going on holiday. and you are paying for something, they'll say, can I see your passport? Can I see your boarding pass? Okay, so they have their verification methods to prove you are who you say you are, okay, or to verify you, essentially, for the purchase. Now, Civic is essentially doing the same thing. It's validating you, it's verifying you. And this is a measure that can be used in the real world. Okay, this is something I don't see anybody else touching Civic. Civic have got something amazing. Okay, they've got a great product that can have good real world usage over the course of time. It's only recently come onto the exchanges, having been an ICO. Okay, it was 10 cents at ICO. It was one of the ICOs I said get behind. All right, and this is why, because of what it can do in real life, what the pain point is in real life. Okay, security, privacy, proving you are who you say you are. You know, these security measures, as the world tries to be more secure, you know, stop terrorism and all sorts of things, then personal information and security is going to be more and more relevant. Hence why Civic has enormous value to achieve over its lifetime. Okay, so at the moment it's at 50 cents. I think this is very low. It's previously achieved 74 cents. Okay, so it's down a third on what it could be. But well, it's probably a bit more than a third. But anyway, so it's down on where it could be, but where it could be in the future, and I'm talking about a year's time, it could be $10, okay? Which will give you a 20 times gain based on today's price of 50 cents. And that's me being modest. Goodness knows what companies, what cryptocurrencies, what ICOs are going to incorporate Civic as part of their security measures, okay? There's already cryptocurrencies partnering with Civic. So there's so much scope for Civic to grow over the course of the year, and it's so new right now and cheap. So you could get this at an absolute steal right now, and it can gain 20 times its value over the course of the year. So $1,000, dollars invested could turn into 20,000 easy over the course of the year. I think Civic is only just getting started on where it could be. So what is the number one cryptocurrency under $1? Okay, it's literally just gone under $1 today. Okay, it was at $1.30, but just in time for this video, it went under $1. And it is question mark. But if you do your research, you'll actually be able to find out what this coin is. So the number one cryptocurrency under $1 is contained in this course, the number one cryptocurrency long-term investment course 2017. I'm so close to actually telling you what it is, but I'm not going to do that just yet because it's just under $1 and it's an amazing pick today to invest in. Amazing. And I'm going to show you why in a minute, but all you need to do is just invest $10 to find out. $10? And think about where your money could take you if you invest in it under $1. To pay $10 to find out that information is golden, in my opinion. Okay, so in this course, it's not simply a case of me saying, right, the cryptocurrency is blah blah blah. End of course. I explain to you everything you need to know as to why I've gone all in on this coin. Okay, so why does it give the potential return? What are the features about it that gives it its value? Okay, that is everything you'll learn. You'll learn how to invest in it, what to do next, and essentially how to become a member of my mastermind group. All for $10. That's just ridiculous. So today that coin is worth 99 cents. Okay, and it has gone up to $1.35. I think it has actually gone up higher than that on some exchanges. But I forecast this will achieve $40 in the next year. $40. And again, that's me being modest, okay? I see this cryptocurrency a bit like how I saw Michael Jackson, okay? Artists like Michael Jackson come out very rarely, okay? An artist that actually dominates the world. An artist with so much incredible talent and X factor that they can actually rule the world with it. Now, very rarely do you actually see that. You've got Michael Jackson, you've got Madonna, you've got Lady Gaga, you've got really talented singers, artists that come out, a few decades after each other. And it's not replicatable, okay? Everybody's always trying to find out who's the next Michael Jackson, who's the next Elvis Presley, who's the next Frank Sinatra, who's the next Lady Gaga, who's the next Bruno Mars, who people say I look like. Okay, who's the next? Okay, that's what the X Factor and The Voice and all these shows are trying to find out. Who is the next talent out there? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find this number one. They're trying to find the next best thing, the next thing that's going to come out and dominate everything. Neo was something that I called out as being one of those cryptocurrencies just going to soar in value. It was my number one when it was at $4. Okay, and this is my number one at $1. And I believe this is going to go even further than $40. Okay, I'm putting a very modest sum on it because there's a long way to go. This has recently come out of ICO, so it's still got a roadmap to achieve. It's still got milestones to achieve. It's still got technology to be built, a platform that's going to achieve all the things that it needs to achieve to remedy the pain that exists out there, and also a platform that makes it fun to be on a daily basis. Okay, so they're building all this now, and over the course of the year, I see this going to $40, if not way more. Okay, so at the moment, so if you get invested in it today, you could make a potential 40 times gain. So $1,000 could turn into $40,000. $100,000 could turn into $4 million. Okay, you getting me? So there's so much you can achieve with this cryptocurrency. And that is all in the number one cryptocurrency investment course. The link is in the description. And that is what I see as the best coin under $1. Whenever anybody asks me this question, that is the coin I tell them. Okay, and I do have a strong belief this is going to be one of those Michael Jackson coins. This is a coin that's got so much potential, it's not even a joke. So that concludes today's podcast on what are the top 5 coins under $1. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Savage Cash, and I'll see you in the next one.